Hi guys, welcome back. I am Stu and this is Infernal Views for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. A park nestled precariously on lava rock with streams of magma. Your objective to have 10 different types of roller coaster operating in your park, each with an excitement value of at least 6.00. Okay, so another roller coaster building scenario then. There's no failure mode, so all we need to do is build 10 different roller coasters with an excitement of 6, and it doesn't matter whether we do that in 1 year or 100 years. All we need to do is build them. So by the looks of it, we've already got one coaster. Yep, that's over the 6. So instead of building 10, all we need to do then is build 9. Right then, so we've got free admission, so we're going to be charging for the rides. Let's see what rides we've got to begin with. We've got some transport rides, some gentle rides, not a great selection of coasters to begin with, but enough to start if we wanted to. We've got some corkscrew there. We could build some cheap and cheerful shuttle coasters if we want to make some money makers. Good selection of thrill rides to begin with. Some, almost said water rides, they're not water rides, they're lava rides, and some shops. Okay, one thing, because on this one you've got lava. Well, I say lava, it's not really lava, it's water that's been coloured. So let me put down a balloon stall now. So I'll put that balloon stall down. So what it is, this lava is an effect. They've taken the blue water and they've just coloured it. So if you look at, click on, there you go. So that's light blue. There's another kind of blue, and that, oh, that works. There you go. So these blues here both come up as orange, because what they've done is they've taken the watercolour and they've just changed the colour of it. So that also affects balloons, t-shirts, hats, that sort of thing. So sometimes you'll be playing one of these levels and you try and select a colour and it goes orange and you think, oh, hang on a second, that's wrong. But it's not, it's just the way the game works. But it's only on these lava levels. So let's have a look then. What am I going to do? Let's have a look at the excitement on here. High excitement. Well, that's very cheap. So first thing I'm going to do then, I'm going to put the price of that up to £10, because whatever, I'm going to leave it. I might play about with it, but essentially I will leave it, because that'll earn me some money. I don't like the path in here, so I'll simplify the path. So I'm going to want to have a straight path coming down to the beginning. This little island here I can make do and put like a little profitable park on there, because one thing I like doing on roller coaster parks, roller coaster scenarios, is I like to make a profitable park first. So we've got loads of money coming in, loads of guests coming in, and then we'll crack on with the roller coasters. So I'll make a nice park here on this first island, then we can expand onto this second island, and then we can go nuts with the coasters. Yeah, so research wise, I think what I'll do is I'll put my research into roller coasters, and that way then by the time I finished altering the paths, maybe tinkering with this coaster and building a nice profitable park down this end, I should have quite a few coasters unlocked. So I'm going to crack on and I'll see you in a bit. It is October year 2, so I decided to have a play about with scenery, and I've got a bit carried away. So I've spent about, well, over 2 years playing about with the actual scenery, building a nice profitable park down here. I haven't got that much money, to be honest, even though it's quite profitable, because I've been spending it on scenery and paths and shops and things. So we've got a good selection of rides over here. We've got 1,300 guests in the park. So as soon as we start dropping down some coasters, we're going to make a ton of cash. And then, so I've got the castle theme here, and then just over here then I've gone for like a space theme. So I've built a nice big path loop with seating areas and lots of shops. And then, so here's the wooden coaster that we already had. So I've changed the theme on the building for this. I've altered the paths slightly as well, and I've added a little some supports. It hasn't done much to the excitement. I've also added another train, a photo section, and so I extended this a little bit as well. So I added a photo section. So we're making good money off this, but I've been spending a lot of money on theming and pathing and all that sort of stuff. So what I'll do now is there's no length criteria for the roller coasters. They just need to be 6+ excitement. So what I'll do is I'll drop down a few cheap and cheerful coasters now, and they'll be my profit coasters. They'll earn me the big bucks, and then we can start going a bit crazy now with the coasters. So let's have a look, see what coasters we've unlocked. So we've got quite a few to choose from, so I'll just start dropping a few down, and then we can see what sort of money we can make. It is June year 3, so I've built a really cheap and cheerful hyper twister. Got 2 trains on it. It's quite a short ride, 51 seconds for a hyper twister is quite short. Good excitement, so that's over the 6, so that's 2 coasters done. And then just over here then I've built a couple of impulse shuttle coasters. So even though there's 2 here synchronized side by side, that only counts as 1 coaster because we need to have 10 different coasters. So the wooden coaster is 1, the hyper twister is 2, and these impulse coasters here are 3. Let's have a look at the excitement then. Solid 6.7 excitement, so that's 3 coasters done. Now the money's really starting to come in, so we can start going for something big and exciting. It is October year 3. We've researched all the roller coasters, so I've already switched my research now to shops just to see what else we unlock, and then we can drop some down as and when we need them. So I've built a flawless coaster here, so we can watch this going round. I've gone for a space theme with the names for the coasters, so we're just waiting for the one that's on the track to go through the block break to allow this train to enter the next section of the track. So we got some good interactions with the rides that are already here. The chain photo section there, loop, do a cobra roll, dive underground, and then there's a section underground, and then it returns back to the station. There you go. So it's just going through a brake run and then back up the chain lift. Solid 8 excitement, guests loving that. 15,000 a month last month, so we're making some big money now. So what we can do, I wanted to, the whole point of building this looped path section was to have some rides in the middle, and then also create some space to build some big rides off the sides as well. So we've got plenty of space this side to build rides, this side, and also down here as well. So what have we got now? We have got 4 roller coasters done, so we only need 6 then, and we can really start blowing some big money on coasters. It is May year 4, and coaster number 5 then is a mine train. So it's just going up a very long chain lift, so we can watch this going round. There you go, picking up a lot of speed. Back up, just crests the hill, photo section, down, another hill, some fast bends. Looks a bit weird there because of the diagonal. Over and under itself. Underground. Back out. Little interaction with the wooden coaster. And then a brake run at the end. And back to the station. 7.6 excitement. There you go. Money's falling a little now, but we're still making tons of cash. Because it'll take a few months to build a coaster now, because we're going quite big. So by the time we finish the coaster, we'll have earned quite a lot of money in the meantime. So let's crack on with the next one then. It is August year 4, and here we've got coaster number 6, stand-up coaster. Couple of loops, cobra roll, fast bend around these volcanoes. I've added these like sort of water effects, but obviously they've coloured it to make it look like lava in the volcanoes there. So we've got some interactions with the scenery, photo section, brake run now, and back to the station via a chain lift. We tend to have a little issues with little problems with these stand-up coasters. So it's 5.96. We need 6. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to interact another ride in future, and we'll get this over the 6 quite easily. So I'm not bothered with that. We're so close to the 6 that it's not worth even worrying about, because we'll easily get that over the 6. We've just had one interaction, and we'll probably do more than one. But so that's coaster number 6. Let's crack on with the next one. It is April year 5, and I've built a nice inverted coaster. It's the yellow and black one. So it's just going up to the top of the chain lift. Got some good interactions with the stand-up coaster. Nice large cobra roll. Twist there. Some fast bends. Goes through the cobra roll of the stand-up coaster. Nice loop there. Some more fast bends. And then back to the station. So for the inverted coaster then, 7.75 excitement, and the stand-up, that's been raised to 6.44. That was just under 6 when we last saw it, so that we've raised that now by almost half a point. So that's great. So that's 7 coasters done then. Let's crack on with coaster 8. It is June year 5, and I've just finished building vertical drop roller coaster. So we've got the brake at the top, nice dip back up, very fast section, straight up, down, around, underground, fast bends, and back down, brake run, and back to the station. High 7 for that. Huge positive G's, but that's fine. It's the lateral G's you want to make sure they're under control. The positive G's, negative G's, yeah, it might make them feel a bit sick, but it's not going to batter them. It's not going to chuck them from side to side. So that's coaster number 8 done. Let's crack on with the next one. It is September year 5, coaster number 9 then, corkscrew coaster. Nice long chain lift coming out of the station. Bonus points if you can spot the references and what the coasters are named after, if you can identify them. So we're at the top of the chain lift then. Nice big drop. Some interactions with the mine train. There's a little break there just before the cobra roll because it was going a bit too fast. So that just knocks us a little bit of speed off, just to take the intensity down a bit, but not too much that it was not able to complete the circuit. It's a little bit slow around this section. Photo section. Always looks a bit funny when you're at that angle watching the diagonals. And then some nice little hills and back to the station. Nothing too complex for that one. .72. As you can see, the intensity is up on 9. So originally it was going way too fast through this section here. So this brake then, that just slows it down enough. Just takes it down to 39, which is just enough for it to complete this section here any faster, and it was too intense. So that's coaster number 9. Let's have a look at coaster number 10. It is May year 7, so I've shut down the impulse coasters and I've put them into construction mode and then back out of it just to reset the tests. So I've done that for the second one as well. And then I've built a pair of, no, sorry, it's not a pair. I've built a Mobius Giga coaster simply because I've got the money and why not show off. So I built it originally and it comes out and it goes around the park interacting with a lot of rides and then comes back. And then when I got to here, so this section, I think it looks quite cool from that angle. So this section then, I joined it up, and originally I joined it up wrong. So what that meant was the station the car was leaving from, the train was leaving from, is the station it returned to. Now on a Mobius coaster it's supposed to return to the opposite station. So I swapped the tracks round, and then for some reason it wouldn't work. It kept telling me the track wasn't a complete circuit, and I was spinning it round, and I was doing it from all angles, and it was joining up, and I was taking it apart and joining it in different sections, and nothing would work. And I'd shut it down and try again, and eventually then I deleted the section all the way back to the station and I rebuilt it then, and it worked. So I wasn't sure what happened then because I'd done exactly the same as I tried earlier, but for some reason it worked. So good excitement on this one. 10.6. We've got the 10 coasters, all with an excitement of 6+. It won't let me complete the scenario until I put the impulse coasters back onto run, because at the moment the game, even though I've got 10 that are over 6, the game only acknowledges 9 so far because these coasters haven't got the results back. So the Giga coasters then, they come out of the station, and we've got some booster tracks here. So that fires them up to speed, up the hill and down, and we got some nice Airtime Hills then. I think what I should have done is I should have had them turn in opposite directions, because at the moment you've got one on the inside which is going way too fast and the other one isn't, struggling to keep up with it. So what I've done just there, I've got a brake and a booster. So the one on the inside track slows and the one on the outside track speeds up, and it's a bit too much, to be honest. Little section underground and then back around, and then we've got the crossover track and back to the station. So at this point of the game we got so much money we can just chuck a ton of cash at these coasters. So what I'll do now, I'll save the game just in case we get any problems with the video corrupting, and then we'll come back, complete the game, and maybe have a little park tour as well. Okay, so I've got these impulse shuttles back in test mode. The results are just about to come back in. We already know they're going to be over 6, so we haven't got to worry. We just reset the tests just to ensure that we didn't complete the game too early. We want to make sure that we are filming and everything's okay before we complete it, because we have had some issues before where the video corrupts. So we're just waiting for the test results to come back now. It's taking a while. I don't know why it's taking so long. The track's only 800 foot long. It really shouldn't take too long for it to come back, but it is. So yeah, I just have to keep rambling on for a little bit. This is awkward. Right, 6.7. okay, so even though there's 2 there, they're the same ride, so it only counts as the 1. So what I'll do now is I'll open both of those up, and then in a second or two it should recognize that we've got the 10 different coasters over 6 excitement, and it'll let me pass the game. Fantastic. Stew! Excellent. So that's Infernal done, and it says we've completed all the scenarios in bronze group. That means we've only got 2 groups left to do. It's taken a while, but we've gotten there so far, and it's only 2 to go. I mean, fantastic value for the game. I think the game was about, what, £5, and so far we've played about 70 something scenarios, and there's still another 2 groups of scenarios to go. So let's have a quick park tour then. This is Infernal Views. The scenario goal was to have 10 different coasters with an excitement of 6+. So when we came in then, we already had a wooden coaster with a good excitement. So instead of 10, all we needed to do was build 9 coasters. We didn't have a fantastic variety of coasters to begin with. So what I did is I put research into coasters, and then I went about building this section at the beginning, because on coaster building scenarios, when space allows it, I like to build a nice selection of flat rides in order to bring guests and money into the park. So it took about 2 years, to be honest, because I was playing about with the scenario and just enjoying playing. I don't normally play with the scenery, so I was quite enjoying it. So before we knew it, it was practically year 3. I'd done this castle section there, and I'd done this nice sort of path loop as well, just on the outside of the castle. So I've got a sort of a castle theme and a space theme, and then so we didn't have a huge amount of money in the bank because I'd been spending so much on shops and pathing and scenery, but we did have around 1,300 guests in the park. So what that meant was, as soon as I put some coasters down, the money would start rolling in. So we put some Cheap and Cheerful Hyper Twister down here, it's the pink and yellow one, and a couple of impulse shuttles as well through the loops. So there's 2 there, but they're the same ride, so it only counts as 1. After that then, we just built the Flawless ride, and then we started to expand on the outside of the path loop as well. We built the stand-up coaster. That was slightly under the 6, but I wasn't worried because I knew I would interact and have a ride with it and we would get it over the 6. And then I built this inverted coaster there, so that took the stand-up coaster to well over 6. It added about 0.5 excitement to it. After that then, we built the mine train, the corkscrew, and the vertical drop coaster just over here, and then we finished off with a Mobius Giga coaster. Had a few issues connecting the track up. Something, it didn't like something, so I don't know whether it was something I was doing or whether the game just didn't like the fact that I think what it could have been was when you're building these, you tend to build one section, then you build the other section, then you go back to the first section, and for some reason I don't think it liked that. I think it was recognizing it as more than one coaster, but what do I know. So after that then, that was it. We'd completed the game in all but well, we had completed it. We'd got more than 10 coasters with over excitement, but the game didn't recognize it because we'd put these impulse into test. We just put them on and then we passed the scenario. Was it a good one? It was quite good. It's nice to have a scenario where you can just take your time and just relax and just play, and you haven't got to worry about guest goals or park rating. You can just relax, play about with some scenery if you want, and then have a look at playing about with some coasters. Having said that, we are after something a bit more challenging at this stage of the game, so this would have been better. And I've said it a few times where scenarios, even though they are quite good scenarios, they don't fit in with where we are in the game so far. So this scenario would have been a lot better off earlier in the game, because at the moment it's not challenging, but earlier in the game it would have been more challenging when we hadn't built as many roller coasters, when we weren't as good at building roller coasters as we are now. So this was Infernal Views. I am Stu. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And you know what, why not tell your friends, not about the videos, don't worry about them, tell your friends about Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. Everyone these days virtually has got some sort of Android or iDevice, so just tell them about Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. Maybe they played it years ago, maybe they'd enjoy playing it again, but tell them about it because it's a fantastic game, and the more people playing it, the more they'll develop it and fix bugs, and who knows, maybe one day they'll even release some new content for it as well. So I am Stu, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.